It was rocking and rolling out our skylight last night. We are out now on some national forest. Is it the Deschutes National Forest?
Yes, just outside of Sisters, only maybe 2 miles, I guess it'd be west of Sisters.
Yeah.
Heading up towards the Three Sisters Wilderness area.
So the first night we got out here is when that big storm hit, and that's why I was trying to film out the skylight. We were trying to sleep, and that lightning was just coming in, and the hail too was so loud right above our heads.
Yeah, we've been in there with quite a bit of rain, and it's loud, but not crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the biggest, loudest rain ever, and I realized, oh, that's like, it wasn't marble size, maybe.
Nah.
No, maybe quarter size of marble. It's just average hail, but man,
we're that close to our heads.
Yeah,
and a good test for all our windows and the skylight. Nothing leaked, so that was good.
When it's nighttime, your mind kind of imagines things that probably wouldn't during the day, but you're landing thinking, what if all of a sudden this hail cracks or
the skylight
starts leaking on us.
Who knows?
Anyway.
But it was great, and now we've actually been out here several days. And
well, we first got to Sisters, and it was really hot when we first got into the area, and so we got a couple nights at the Sisters Creekside campground. It was nice, but it's sardines in there, but
it's expensive.
Yeah,
but it's somewhere to dump and fill, and
we had the AC running morning till night.
Yeah.
So then we left there and we just drove out here, and
we've just been chilling.
I could do this forever.
This is how we like to live.
Check out, this is where we're parked in the Deschutes County Forest. There's just, I mean, you can go so far in so many places. Kind of check out the area around us here.
Yeah, this has just been phenomenal.
And you can find places like this, little pullouts that you can stay for free. It's a huge area, and there's really not many people around here at this time of year, which is kind of surprising.
No, yeah, it's amazing. The point of this video, we want to get on here and
okay. I just ran, so I'm kind of salty.
She wants you.
She wants my salt.
So we've been in this truck camper over 1.5 years now, and just over a year ago, what did this camper come with as far as battery and inverter?
Not much. This one, the options were a little tiny 1200 watt inverter, the little flexible 210 solar panel on the roof, and one little deep cycle battery, which is nothing. That's all we had. And
we had that for about 6 months, and we knew that was not going to be sufficient for our needs. No. So we really researched and tried to figure out what was going to, first of all, fit in the battery compartment that we were working with.
For those that have been following us for a while, we were full-time prior to the truck camper in 2 different camper vans for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And both those had a lithium battery system. So we knew that's when we bought this that we were gonna switch what this had to a lithium system. And then the question became, well, which system and how do we do it and where does it go? And
after a fair amount of research, which really isn't our forte, but we did, we ended up reaching out to Battleborn, and they actually have sponsored us. So this has been over 1 year ago now, and they supplied us with 3 100 amp lithium batteries that were able to fit in our battery compartment that we were working with.
Well, that's one of the things about the Battleborn batteries is that she's going potty.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That's one of the things about the Battleborn batteries is, if you're doing like a upfitting something, you have to kind of look at the space you have, and we didn't have a lot of space in this camper. And they have, Battleborn has some really nice larger batteries that we're hoping to get into, but all we could fit was their 100 amp batteries. We could fit 3 of them in the compartment that this had batteries in. And we've had more lithium in our previous vans, but I find that we do just as well with this?
So yeah, they provided the batteries and also 3,000 watt Victron inverter,
Yep.
as well as a 30 amp DC to DC charger.
From Energy.
Yeah, so while we're driving, it actually really juices up our battery as well. We did have all that installed. We paid for the installation at Bend Battery in Bend, Oregon, and it was really a seamless process between Battleborn and Bend Battery just to get all that done. And it was, I definitely recommend.
Both.
Yeah.
The customer service for both have been phenomenal. And we're not sponsored by Bend Battery, but that doesn't matter. I mean,
yeah, they're good people and they do an excellent job. And I know in previous videos I've talked about how they said, we want to do it right the first time so we don't see you again.
Unless it's for more upgrade.
Yeah, unless it's for an upgrade.
Yeah, and they really did a lot. They didn't just install the 3 batteries and the 3,000 watt inverter. There was really no place for the inverter, so they took under the step to get in the camper. They had to rewire a bunch of things and move some other stuff to find a place to put it in there. And then the way that this camper is made is all the outlets would only work if you were plugged in. They did not work through
or
the inverter.
You have the inverter on.
Even,
oh no.
No,
no, that's right, only the one up by your head, like for a CPAP, would work.
Right, but every outlet in the camper other than that one, you had to be plugged into shore power for them to work at all. So they rewired everything, so now the inverter can run everything in the camper, and it's just been awesome.
Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about battery performance. Before I get into that though, you might see this big solar panel behind us. So aside from the 210 flexible panel we have on the roof, we also can supplement. This is a Zamp solar, not sponsored, solar panel we bought, and it's a 230.
Yep.
230 watts, and it really does the trick. It can keep up with our, basically if we're parked in kind of a sunny area like
We've
this.
been here for days. I mean, 3 or 4 days now. I've lost track. But yeah, we're maintaining our battery as normal living. If we don't run the air conditioner,
yeah,
we could pretty much stay here
indefinitely.
Our power is endless.
Yeah, our limiting factors then would become our tanks.
Dumping our tanks, or we're using propane to cook with and heat with at night. It gets colder at night.
Yeah, we've had the heater on for sure.
Yeah.
Those are all, I know our all-day heating system also draws electric, even though we're running it on propane, but there's a pump that has to work for the glycol and stuff. So our battery consumption, just normal day-to-day usage without running the air conditioner and without turning our oven on, we drop about 10 to 15% of battery power per day.
That's 24 hours.
Yeah, I'd say in a 24-hour period. That's just with our normal usage of everything.
Yep.
And so really with the solar and also with driving, so even if we have little short drives, we can always keep that topped off.
Easy.
And we've used this battery system in ways that we never really expected to use it. Our son's recent cancer diagnosis has kept us in the city, Portland and Vancouver area, a lot longer than we ever anticipated. And we're not really city people, we're not street side campers, but that's really how we've been using it a lot lately. And
urban parking.
Yes.
There's not a lot of campground or RV parks in the vicinity of where we need to be. So we basically stay 5-6 days curbside where we can when we're helping out, or in a hospital parking lot.
And we have used it in the hospital parking lot, 4 days there, and never had to worry about a battery.
No.
Which has been just a really great thing, to not have to worry about being plugged in somewhere, because there's not really anywhere to do that. We have to go out of the city north a bit to do that. So we do end up doing that about once a week, just to dump our tanks. And then, of course, we plug in and top everything off. But
yeah. So we've been here 3 or 4 days, and we haven't had our external solar panel out because it's been kind of overcast, and we're kind of in the trees quite a bit. And so after 3 or 4 days, this morning when we got up, we were still just under 70% of our battery, like 67% of our battery which isn't too bad, just considering we've just been parked here.
Great.
And then today the sun came out, so I pulled the solar out, and this morning I went for a run. I was going an hour and a half, and it bumped up, I think, almost 10%.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like went up to 75%, just like within my hour and a half run.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really need it that often, but if we want to plug in our Starlink,
yeah, we haven't needed it right here, so
we have cell service. But if we did have our Starlink on, the batteries definitely start dropping. But if I put the external solar panel out, we're bringing in more power than the Starlink is using.
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now it's nice being parked in the shade, so we just stayed in the shade, not worried about it. But you know, you can pull out the sun and put the solar on if you have to. But the solar, the external solar, is something I never thought. In our 6 years of traveling, we always had a van with a roof full of solar, and that's great. But when you're in the shade or it's overcast, or you know, typically I like being parked in the shade,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're not getting any solar. You got trees on the top of it. But this, we're parked in the shade, but then I run the solar out in the sun, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, no, that's been great.
It's way more efficient than a roof, because
yeah,
like I can set that solar out, and morning I can just keep moving that panel
instead of being parked in one spot.
Yeah, rooftop is pretty inefficient when the sun's over here. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I have a weird brain thing where I
Yeah, you do.
see that I see the battery number like 80 or 80%. I for some reason don't want to run that down. Like I just try and keep it pretty high, and I don't know why. So we have all this battery power, I can bake a loaf of bread in our oven in the camper on just our batteries. That to me blew my mind. We can run our air conditioner for hours just off our batteries. Now, even longer, because we swapped out our inefficient Dometic air conditioner that came with this camper. And what did we put up there?
It's Rec Pro.
Yeah, the Rec Pro. Much more efficient, and it has a thermostat, so it just can turn on and off, and you know, you're not wasting energy that way. So with that, like, we can use that a lot, but we really don't.
Yeah.
We find ourselves not using it. Not because it's not too hot, it's just, you know.
It's like, ooh, it's like you're doing something good. Look at all the energy I'm saving.
I know.
We're going to leave here and not use the oven at all and walk away with 90% battery.
Yes, that happens. That
Yeah.
does happen. So I still got to get over that a little bit.
Yeah, because sometimes we have no cell service, and I'm just turn the Starlink on. That's okay.
It's like, that's fine.
We have a full battery.
I know. I do need to know that we can do that. I just like to conserve the good thing, you know?
I couldn't be happier with the entire system we have installed. And
yeah, no, we're not electrical people. I know we've said that before. We know nothing really about the installation. There are other YouTube channels that really, they installed their own and they can give you a step-by-step guide. But also Battleborn, if you, you know, you can call their customer service and they can walk you through things. So their troubleshooting, I mean, they have a lot of resources on their website too, as far as installation goes.
if I was building a van again,
We would learn how to do it.
No, I would buy their Game Changer system. We saw them at an RV show recently. They have this, and it's a plug and play. It's everything.
It's a unit that comes with
it's
the
your
inverter,
batteries,
battery.
the inverter, it's everything all in one. Wire it in, plug it in, you're good to go.
Yeah.
That'd be what we'd do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because that, I think, looked pretty foolproof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're always coming out with new, more efficient, you know, smaller batteries, more power scenarios, and really just keeping up with that world. Man, the new camps, so like the 2024 new camps, truck campers are coming with a full Battleborn setup.
Yeah.
So if we'd waited a year or two, we could have got one with it. But we're super happy with what we've got. 300 amps have been more than enough for us.
Would I love more? Yes.
Sure.
There's just no room for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could kind of get creative and build some.
Squeeze them in somewhere.
Squeeze them in somewhere by where the water tank is, but I don't want to.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I don't like that. But we could frame them in somehow. We could actually put more in there, but honestly, you would just have more lithium. You'd be trying to conserve all your battery power, no matter how much we had.
It's silly. I know.
Also, we have one of the things that we did when the way the new camper battery system is, it's located in a place you can only access when the camper is off the truck. So the batteries that we installed are heated.
Oh, yes.
And they can be switched off and on, but for us to do it, we'd have to take the camper off. So our heater system is all, we just had Ben battery, just leave it
on. I forgot about that. That does draw a little bit.
So that draws power, but we thought maybe we'll wind up in a cold environment. This was a year ago. We had no idea we were going to be doing this, but we're probably going to be into Oregon probably into December and Washington. So
we expect it's going to get cold.
We may be using our heated batteries.
I forgot about that.
We may be glad we have those turned on. And we almost didn't get the heated version, but we did end up doing that, and I'm just really glad that happened. And yet I totally forgot that we have and left that turned on, because there was some talk about when we had those installed, like, we're never going to go in the cold. We don't do that.
Yeah, and they suggested, you just open this up, or you have to open up the panel to activate the heating element.
And for those who saw the video last month, you know that we got hit while parked, and we don't have a jack because it tore the jack or bent the jack, which I had to remove. So we can't take the camper off to turn them back on now anyway.
Yeah.
So
we were lucky.
Boy, we were lucky. But it is nice to be able to park in National Forest unplugged and not worry about a battery system.
This is why I wanted the battery system. This right here. Like I said, we've been using it in ways that it wasn't even on our radar, and for that I'm really grateful. So we're not having to worry about that. But this is what we love to do. We were very happy with the Battleborn products and the whole system and how it works.
Ben Battery, the installers, great people. We'll
drop a link in the comments maybe below and the description, and if you follow that link, it's our affiliate link. There might be some discounts in there for what you might be looking at. I think the single batteries are discounted there, so check them out, see if anything works for your needs. Give them a call if you're not sure, because they will definitely help you along. Might hang out here a few more days. Not sure where we're going to be next week when we see you, but we'll see you then. Carry on.
Carry on. Thanks for watching.
And a very special thank you to our patrons for supporting our channel. Join us over on Patreon for extra videos and more content. Check out our website or Amazon for our pistol book. Carry on.
Carry on.